Thursday, October 12, the world, the area of mission. Read Revelation 7, verses 9 and 10. What does this text suggest about the far-reaching geographical scope of God's mission? Revelation 7, beginning at verse 9. After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palm branches in their hands, and crying out with a loud voice, saying, Salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb. This week's lesson has intentionally discussed two crucial mission texts that emphasize the centrality of disciple-making in the Great Commission and the message of the eternal gospel. Interestingly, both texts have at least a common connecting point, the where of mission. They read in Matthew 28:19, Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. And in Revelation 14, verse 6, those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people. In other words, the gospel of Christ is to reach all classes, all nations, all tongues, and all peoples. The influence of the gospel is to unite the saved in one great brotherhood. We have only one model to imitate, and that is Christ. If we accept the truth as it is in Jesus, national prejudices and jealousies will be broken down, and the Spirit of truth will blend our hearts into one. When Jesus said, You will be my witnesses, in Acts 1, verse 8, he had three different geographical areas in mind. Area 1, you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem. At that time, his disciples were very close to Jerusalem. So Jesus was basically saying, begin to share your experience with God with people who are close to you. Mission begins at home, with family, with neighbours, with friends. This is the initial place of mission. Area 2, he then continues in all Judea and Samaria. Our mission also involves those who are in some ways close, but at the same time distant from us. In this group are people who may speak the same language that we speak, people who have a similar culture but do not live or share the same reality that we do. This is our further place of mission. And Area 3, beyond this, Christ says, and to the end of the earth. God's mission calls us to reach individuals from all places, nations, people, groups, languages, and ethnicities. This is our ultimate place of mission. And so to finish the day, first of all, we start with challenge. Pray every day this week for the community where you live. God has placed you there for a reason. And challenge up. Research the demographics of your area. What kind of people live around you? Ethnic and religious background, old, young, poor, wealthy, languages spoken, and so on. Ask God to show you how you may be a channel of His love to them. You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School lessons by Dr. Percy Harrold and the inside story by his niece Sibylla. Apart from being provided free to those who are visually impaired, these audio lessons are available on the official General Conference Sabbath School and Personal Ministry app, on SoundCloud, Apple iTunes, and also on YouTube. Search for Percy Harrold Sabbath to find all of these. And remembering all the time that God is always faithful.